If you're constantly wondering where your hard-earned cash vanishes every payday, chances are you're blowing it on stuff you don't need. But hey, if you're determined to hit those financial targets, it's high time you reassess your approach to money management. It begins with diligently creating and adhering to a budget, which entails closely tracking your spending habits. If you're unsure how to proceed, here's a 6-step guide to help you get started. Step 1. Know your starting point. To effectively track your expenses, you first need a clear understanding of your current financial position. This involves knowing several key factors such as your total monthly spending. This includes all expenses from groceries to bills and entertainment. What part of your spending goes toward fixed expenses such as rent or mortgage payments and variable expenses like dining out or shopping? The portion of your income allocated to debt repayment and your current savings. Calculating your personal net worth is one valuable tool in assessing your financial health. It's pretty simple. You subtract your total debts from your assets. If your net worth is positive, that's a good sign. It means you've got more assets than debts, which shows you're handling your money well. But if it's negative, that suggests that your debts exceed your savings. And if most of what you owe is from credit cards, that could mean you're overspending. Therefore, you'll have to reassess your spending habits and how you track your expenses. If you are not good with numbers, you can use an online net worth calculator to simplify this process. Step 2. Categorize your spending and expenses. Once you've assessed your overall financial situation, it's time to categorize your monthly spending. One effective way to do this is through the 50-30-20 rule, which divides your budget into 3 main categories: needs, wants, savings, and debt. First, we have needs. You have to spend money on these things to maintain a basic standard of living. According to the 50-30-20 budget, about 50% of your budget should cover housing, utilities, food, healthcare, and insurance needs. Some of these expenses, like rent or mortgage payments, stay the same monthly, while others, like utility bills, can fluctuate. When it comes to housing, a good rule of thumb is to spend no more than 30% of your income on rent or mortgage payments. If you're going over that, it might be time to look for ways to cut costs, like refinancing your mortgage or downsizing to a smaller place. Then we have the wants. These non-essential items enhance your lifestyle but aren't vital for survival. Under the 50-30-20 rule, about 30% of your budget can go toward this category. This includes new clothes, dining out, travel, hobbies, entertainment, and spa visits. This is usually where significant cuts can be made if you need to save some money. Finally, we've got savings and debt. This is where the remaining 20% of your budget goes. You can split it evenly between saving and paying down debt or adjust based on your priorities. Saving money might go towards emergency funds and short-term or long-term goals like buying a house or planning for retirement. On the debt side, you might have student loans, credit cards, car loans, or other debts to tackle. How you pay them off depends on your financial situation and goals. You can use methods like the debt snowball or debt avalanche to pay off what you owe. But keep in mind that these are just guidelines, so feel free to adjust based on your financial goals and what works best for you. Step 3, prioritize and automate. When managing your monthly expenses, it's crucial to prioritize how you distribute your funds, and it makes sense to begin with your essential bills and basic living expenses. Afterwards, you can budget for everything else, like your wants, savings goals, and debt repayment. Using the 50-30-20 rule, half of your income should be allocated to these expenses. Automating your finances is one easy way to ensure your monthly bills are paid on time. You can set up automatic payments for your regular expenses, including debt payments and transfers to savings. Some everyday bills you can automate include your rent or mortgage, utilities, cell phone and internet bills, car insurance, student loan payments, credit card bills, and contributions to your emergency fund and IRA. The more you can automate, the simpler it becomes to manage and keep track of your expenses. And if you tend to forget bill due dates, setting up reminders can help alert you when payments are scheduled to come out of your bank account. This makes your financial life as stress-free as possible. Step 4, set up a spreadsheet. If you learn best visually, using a spreadsheet to track your monthly income and expenses in one place could be helpful. This approach is beneficial if you receive payments weekly or bi-weekly and prefer to organize expenses by week. Doing so lets you easily track when monthly bills are due and mark them off as you make payments. Budgeting spreadsheets offer added convenience by automating calculations, providing real-time monthly spending updates and indicating how much of your budget you have left. Depending on your banking or credit card provider, you may even have the option to access this information automatically, eliminating the need for manual data entry. Step 5. Use an app. The other convenient options for monitoring your monthly expenses are budgeting or expense tracking apps that you can connect to your bank and credit card accounts. These apps allow you to easily access transaction data without switching between different platforms. Some apps even offer additional features that allow you to tag or categorize expenses and generate graphs or charts to represent your spending habits each month visually. So, if you prefer a simplified expense tracking approach, an app may be ideal as it handles most of the work for you. However, it's worth noting that apps cannot track cash transactions since they primarily rely on electronic records. Therefore, you'll still need to manually enter those expenditures into the app to ensure accurate calculations of your total spending. Step 6. Utilize your bank's resources to track your finances. Another effective method is leveraging your financial insights provided by your bank. You won't need to set up complex spreadsheets or download specific budgeting apps. Instead, simply log into your bank account to access tools that can categorize and track all your expenses. Contact your bank and inquire whether they offer budgeting and expense tracking services and tools. These resources can give you a comprehensive overview of your finances all in one place. This information lets you stay focused and work towards your financial goals effectively. How you handle your finances is ultimately your call, something only you can decide. And remember, keeping tabs on your expenses isn't as daunting as it may seem. It's all about forming a habit. Like any other important routine, it takes some effort and repetition to shift from trying to remember to doing it consistently. Now, while some folks prefer manually jotting down every transaction, others find convenience in using an app that automatically syncs with their accounts to track expenses. Whichever method you choose, the key is to carve out a routine to review your spending and assess your financial progress as you go.